Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Coconut in the Kitchen. So today I'm going to be making vegetable soup or stew. I think the difference is that soup is a little more watery, stew is a little thicker, so I guess it could go either way depending on how much broth you like. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to be making this and I'm going to kind of be walking you through how to make it. It may seem really simple to some of you, but to some of you it's not. So I'm just going to show you how to do it the way that I do it. And I usually add more stuff to it, but I'm kind of limited on veggies right now because I've used a lot of them this week. I'm going to work with what I've got. So you can always add more stuff to it if you want. And yes, I'm wearing another skull shirt. I should be known as a coconut in the kitchen that wears skull t-shirts. I kind of have a thing for skulls. Anyways, so this is what we're going to use. We're going to go ahead and use a can of garbanzo beans. You could get them anywhere, but I got these at Sprouts. Garbanzo beans are awesome protein, and they're delicious. You don't have to. This is just something optional. You could put lima beans. You could put black beans. Just make sure that you drain them. You could even use pinto beans drained, a can of it. I'm not a really big fan of pinto beans inside of soup, but to each their own. I like black beans. I don't have black beans right now, so that's why I'm using garbanzo beans. These are awesome though, love them. Again, another can of tomato sauce. I use a lot of tomato-based broths in a lot of my dishes because I just love it. It's just good. And considering that I really don't use like chicken stock, that's an alternative. So I'm gonna have you guys kind of follow through on my process of how I do this. I also use vegetable broth, and I'll show you how I use this in a minute. As far as my other veggies goes, I'm going to be using spinach, an onion that I've used from yesterday, so this is like the remainder of the onion, some carrots. You could use as many or as little as you want. I don't measure things just because everybody has a different taste for things. So if you want to put 2 cans of this, you can. I just use one and after I drain them. I'm going to use some tomatoes. And you could use Roma or whatever kind you like. But I'm going to use these basically for the broth. And I'll show you how I do the broth in just a minute. I'm going to use celery. I have a lot of celery because we juice, so I carry a lot of it in my fridge all the time. And I'm going to use garlic. Yes, today I will be using garlic because I love garlic in my soups. And then also, like, if you just want to use like a can of like that vegetable mix, you can use that after it's drained, or you could use like frozen veggies. That's also an option. So. Again, to each their own kind of thing. I'm just going to kind of show you the basics of how I do it, just in case. And this is actually a pretty quick meal. So I may take a little longer because I'm like explaining and like walking you through it, but normally it doesn't take that long. So okay. So first of all, make sure that you have a big pot like that. And again, depending on how much you're going to make, because if you're going to make a little bit, you may want to have a smaller pot. So you start with a pot, and I should call this like cooking for dummies or something. Anyways, olive oil. So make sure that that gets hot, and you're probably going to use about a tablespoon or 2, not much. I don't use a lot. Alright, and then, also going in a separate pot, if you want to, of course, you can include brown rice inside of your stew, which I'm going to. I get the boil in a bag kind because I'm a mom, I'm a student, I work full time. I don't have friggin' time to make from scratch all the time. So that way I just real quick, throw it in a pot, boil it, it's all good. And I can usually just use a little tiny pot like this, throw it in there with some water, and it's usually boiling while I'm preparing the stew. So again, just something really simple. So we'll do that. Okay, so let's start this over here. Whoops. Wrong burner. I wish I could have a cameraman so he could follow me to show you what I'm doing. Not that it's like too exciting or anything like that, but okay. So let's go ahead. I'm just basically grabbing all of my veggies right now, and I'm gonna just wash them. So, and yes, I'm rocking out to some music again today. Mia is at her friend's right now playing, so as an only child, I can tell you right now that it drives me crazy to have a silent house. Even though I really like silence, sometimes, especially when I'm cooking, I don't like it. Okay, so I'm going to grab all my veggies, the ones that of course require washing. My tomatoes are in there, as you could tell. And I use, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 tomatoes approximately. And I'm doing like 3 carrots. Look at, I don't know if any of you saw my picture on Facebook, but I thought this was pretty cool. I don't know what was wrong with that batch of carrots, but I just thought it was cool. So I grabbed a bunch of like deformed ones. Anyways, so here we go. And again, you're more than welcome to add other vegetables. This is just the kind of stuff that I like. And I'm going to show you how to make a tomato-based broth, and you can use all kinds of stuff with too. You can make chilies with this broth, and it's so simple. It's something my mom and grandma taught me. All right, so we're good there. Okay, so you will need a blender for this, so let me grab my blender. Okay, so I'll put my blender over here. All right. So while the onions are heating up, we're going to start our broth. Okay, so I'm going to put the blender right there. I'm going to take these tomatoes, slice them in half. I just sharpened my knife, can you tell? It's awesome. I had another batch of tomatoes that I got last week, and oh my gosh, they were awful. There was absolutely no juice in those. I attempted to make salsa, and it was like paste. There was absolutely no juice in those tomatoes. It was awful. Alright, so after you've done all your tomatoes in halves, you're going to go ahead and grab half of your onion. Well, this is about a half right here because this was a really large onion. And so I'm going to cut this in another half and throw it in here. You may need to stuff your stuff in there. And then we're going to grab, actually we're going to use this other half to throw it in the pot right now. That should already have that hot oil. Let's see, how do I want to cut this? I promise not to slice anything off today, guys. Let me put this down a little bit more. There you go. You don't need to see the tips of my hair. And I just got off work, so I need to make sure that this is done because I'm going to take Mia to cheerleading practice in less than an hour. So I got to make sure dinner is ready, so when Andrew comes home, he has dinner and I can eat and blah, blah, blah. And this is actually a really, like I said, a really quick, easy meal. Alright, so that's for that. Now I'm going to grab some garlic. Alright. And this is something that my grandma taught me a long time ago on how to cut garlic. Well, actually how to open it more like it. So you lay the garlic down like this, and then you pop like that. And it comes out like nothing out of the peel, which is awesome. That way you don't have to be struggling with it. Then another one like that. So this is what's going to go in the blender, guys. Alright. Okay, so that oil should already actually be really hot. So I don't want it too hot because then if it burns, it's going to make your food taste awful. So we're going to let that cool down just a little bit before we throw in our onions, okay? So right now what you're going to want to do is basically just put some water in here. So I will be right back. Hold that thought. And maybe you want to fill it halfway. I'm still here. I haven't forgotten about you guys. Alright, so about half of it, okay? Cool? Alright. Alright, so we're going to blend this pretty much to death. It's just going to have to be like liquefied. Alright, so while that's going, you're going to want to throw this chopped onion into your pot because it should be fine by now. Oh, when it sizzles, I love it. Give that a little stir, nothing too crazy. Okay, so that's not ready yet, it's still going. So while you're waiting for that, you can start chopping up your veggies. At least the ones that are going to take a while to cook. I'll talk in a minute. So it's kind of loud, right? This is probably where like celebrity chefs have it go on commercial or something. I know that's not very like pleasing to the ear. Sorry. Cool. So that should be good. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now. I'm just cutting the celery pretty much, and what I'm doing so that the pieces aren't that big, I'm kind of just slicing that whole thing, and I did it to these other ones already while you guys weren't watching and listening to that horrible sound. So I'm just chopping this up. And this and the carrots will take a little bit to get soft, so I just want to make sure to have it prepared. And in the meantime, my onions over there are grilling, or not grilling, but frying. So basically this will just give the soup a pretty yummy taste. So again, just like yesterday's dish, we want to just make sure that they're brown. Not burnt black, but just golden a little bit. And there's a trick to doing the stew, because if you know anything about food, tomatoes have a lot of what is that called? Like pulp, I guess it's called. I don't know. Anyways, so if you notice when you go to a restaurant, soup doesn't really have a lot of pulp. Like any like veggie soups or anything like that, they don't have pulp in them. So I'm going to actually show you how to get rid of that. Kind of a process. It takes a lot of practice. It can get messy, but it's cool. A lot of people actually like that that like pulpy stuff. I don't mind it in my chili, but when it comes to like veggie soups and stuff, I'm not a fan. So with the carrots, what I'm going to do is actually like peel them, because I don't like that top part. Preference, again, it's whatever you guys decide. Alright, so this is what's going to happen now. So my onions are actually pretty brown. Okay? So this is what we do at this point. You need a sifter, such as this one. Or a strainer. Is that what it's called? A strainer? Sifter? I don't know. This thing right here. Every Mexican has one. Sorry, it's the truth. Not to be stereotypical, but it's true. Alright. So you're going to take what you blended, which was your tomato. You're going to put it over the pot, and you're going to pour it through the sifter. This is basically going to ensure that the pulp gets out of your mix. Then you do this. Kind of like hit it to the side. And it's going to get all of that juice out of that pulp. You could probably hear it. So it takes a little while to just kind of sift it and just beat it, right? So what I do at this point also, I just throw in some vegetable broth. Through the mix though. So through this, I throw it in there. You're going to use it anyway for your mix, so might as well put it through there. And a lot of this, like I said, it's optional. Some people like that pulp. Look at how much of it is in there though. So a lot of that will make your soup kind of like grainy almost. So then I just take a wooden spoon and I just kind of, not too hard though, because you don't want that pulp to go through the sifter. So you just kind of do this and kind of stir it around a little bit. All right, so there's more of this. So you want to just keep throwing it in there pretty much. And then you do the same thing. Put your back into it. All right. So, okay. So that's still sifting through. These tomatoes had a lot of that stuff in it. I gotta find the actual name for it because I feel really ignorant just telling you guys the pulp because I know it's probably not pulp. Or maybe it is, I don't know. So anyways, you just basically do that. I'm just stirring it around to get all the juice out of there. And like I said, in the meantime, also throwing that veggie broth in there. Mmm, yummy. It smells awesome, by the way. Notice I haven't put any salt or pepper in there yet, but that will come. And then also, if you have, there's a non-vegan version of this, of course, and you could use chicken broth, but of course I'm not going to. But there's also, it's called No Chicken, like cooking cubes. It's almost like chicken broth cubes, but they're not. They're, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's really good. It's like herbs and spices, and it's delicious. All right, so this, again, it's a process, guys, so have to be patient with it. That's why some people just dump the pulp in there and they don't care, because this sucks, like just sitting here and then it's hot, so. But actually I really enjoy cooking, believe it or not. That is the one of the few times I enjoy sweating. All right, so this is almost done. And there's still actually more. There's still more tomato mix. All right, so still putting that veggie broth through this. My mom calls it lavando el tomate, which means washing the tomato, which is pretty much what you're doing. A lot of pulp in here. Look at all that. Look at that. So, trash or whatever if you want to use it. I don't know for what, but alrighty. So, still got some more, so we got to work on it. That should be it, so we'll leave that there for a minute. I'm going to go put some water in this because, again, I'm going to want to wash the tomato even more. Got to get all that goodness out of there. I'm still here, guys. Don't worry, I haven't left. All right, so you're going to basically want to fill the blender about halfway with water. And that should be okay. You could add more water later if you want. Again, it just depends if you're making a soup or a stew. A stew, once again, is just a little thicker. It's more like hearty. A soup is a little watery. So just going to put some water through that and do the same sifting process. You can hear the water, huh? All right. All right. Almost done. There we go. Got the last of that pulp. There it is. Okay, cool. Oh, so there we go. So while that is cooking, because you do want this to cook, that's just actually sitting there for now. And it's going to start boiling here in a minute. When it gets almost to the boiling point, that's when you're going to want to throw in your carrots and your celery. And then that'll start, you know, kind of cooking through. So you could also at this point add your spices. So I add my black pepper, my granulated garlic, garlic salt, and regular salt. And again, I don't measure anything, it's stuff to taste. And then my mom got me this really cool thing. It's by they sell it at Trader Joe's. It's called Everyday Seasoning with Grinder. This stuff is the bomb. I put it in salads, I put it in soups, I put it in all kinds of stuff. So just grind a little bit of that in there. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome stuff. By the way, our rice is doing really well. All right. So that's good. So that'll be cooking here in just a few minutes. I'm going to clean my station for a second because it drives me nuts to cook in a dirty kitchen. Okay. Put the veggie broth away. Normally what I would do is throw in some Nor Suiza, which is like vegetable broth or chicken broth that I used throughout childhood. But I'm not going to. And I'm going to throw this in. Now this may look weird to you, it may look like barbecue sauce, but it's chipotle, okay? So if you want, you don't have to, but this is good because it gives it a little bit of a smoky flavor, and it also gives it a little bit of a kick. It's not too bad because it's kind of mixed in with the tomato, so it's pretty subtle. But you can find it anywhere. You can find it probably at Food City. And it's La Costeña. And it's chipotle sauce, so it literally just comes with the sauce, not the chiles. You can get the chiles in this same adobada sauce, but I like to just use the sauce. So I'm just going to dump it in there. We like spice in this house. Not too much because I can't take it. I can't handle it. Although Andrew can take a lot, actually. All right, so we're good there. Locking you back. Okay, cool. So right now, at this point, what I'm going to do is just peel my carrots. So you can watch that. Nothing too exciting. It's just a carrot being peeled, but I think Mia's home. Hi.
Hi.
I'm doing a cooking channel.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm doing a little cooking show.
I didn't realize your daughter was covered in chalk. She made quite the design out of the sidewalk.
The neighbor's Janie is dropping me off.
Look at her. I didn't realize it.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh.
She was like a big ice cream.
Look, show everybody what you look like. You look insane. Alright, go.
I've never seen her hair in a ponytail.
Yeah.
Never.
Really?
Like, no, I'm like, I've never seen her in a ponytail.
That's funny.
Tomorrow, do you want to bring her by in the morning or?
Yeah, or I can, oh, you know what? No, she's not going to be going tomorrow morning. She has a doctor's appointment.
How is she?
We're going to find out tomorrow.
Is it her?
Yeah, tomorrow's her echocardiogram. Yes.
All lucky.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes for sure, though.
Let me know.
Okay.
Is it gonna be bad, Mommy?
No, it's going to be great.
Oh, you can have a good day, Mia.
Can I please get it?
That's the peel, but yes, I'll give you a piece of carrot.
Okay, good luck tomorrow, Mia.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and she has some, I think her headache must be gone. Mia, is your headache gone?
Here.
Awesome. Okay, good.
Thanks so much. Go close the door, okay?
The door closed.
See, I'm a real person. Things happen when you do this. All right. So now I'm going to put my carrots to the side while I throw the scraps away. This is a new napkin. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're going to just cut our carrots. And I believe the tomato broth is starting to boil, so that's good. It's like perfect timing for our carrots.
Mommy, can I move this into the chair?
No. How about you go change first before you touch anything, okay? You're full of chalk. And go baby wipe your face and wash your hands, okay? Alright, so these are almost ready to be thrown into that pot. Boy, don't put your hand near the knife, babe. Okay.
Hello.
Alright, perfect. Alright, so, whew, it's getting hot in here. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and, yep, that's starting to boil a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw in my carrots right now. It might splash a little, so careful. Okay, and then, while that is starting to kind of boil a little bit, you're going to want to wait for your celery, because the celery, although it does take a little longer to cook, it shouldn't take too long. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to open our can of tomato sauce. Again, you can grab this anywhere. Where is my... Here we go. Thankfully, my hubby is incredible, and he washes the dishes, and I always have dishes available, which is really cool. I guess because he figures that's the only way he's going to eat, so smart man. Alright, so we're going to want to throw in our tomato sauce too. I forgot to do this. This is actually a step that you could do while you throw in the chipotle. Same thing, okay? Okay, cool. So that's that. Whew. Alright. I'm going to need this for my garbanzo beans. I like lima beans too, but I don't have any right now. Lima beans are so good for you, and they're so delicious. Alright, it's very good. You probably are wondering why I don't have an electric can opener. Because they break. And I've had like expensive ones, and they suck, and they break. So I'd rather just do manual and whatever. Usually I don't use cans. That's something that Andrew does. But, or, no, that's not what I meant. I don't open cans. That's something that Andrew does. But he's not here, so. Alright, so the rice is ready. I just took it off of the burner. So I'm just going to kind of set it aside because it's already cooked. Hey, babe. Hey, go put on clothes, dude. Sorry. So this is already cooked, so this is going to be like your absolute last step. Alright, so we'll just put that to the side. The garbanzo beans are also put to the side. And the reason those are just put to the side right now is because they're already cooked. Literally, we're just going to throw them in there. So I don't have too many other veggies besides those, unfortunately. I have corn, but I don't like to use corn in a lot of dishes just because it's a high glycemic index food, which means that it spikes my blood sugar and then it drops it real low. So I just don't like to use corn a lot or eat a lot of corn stuff. I do miss elotes, like the Mexican elotes with the mayo and the cheese and the chile and yum.
Mommy, tell them what you ate today at my thing.
Oh, I didn't eat though. I'm trying to find frozen vegetables to see if I have any, but it doesn't look like I do. So we're just going to have to make do.
Did you have a hamburger?
Yes. Yes, we still feed her meat, which is, it's whatever. I always say, kids will make their own choices. Unless it's really harming her, I'm not going to stop her. I won't touch it though. Like, I literally don't touch it because it, but it's whatever. She's little and she can make the decision of becoming vegetarian or vegan when she's older, right? Alright, so the tomato is cooking and it's going. So basically once it starts boiling, what I do at that point, I throw in the celery, and then you could throw in potatoes too if you want to do potatoes in there. There's another vegetable that's called a chayote. I have one, but it's actually gone bad, so I'm not going to put it in there.
Mommy, I can say chayote.
Yeah, you can. So this is a chayote. It's kind of potatoey, but it's not really starchy. It's a vegetable. So, you know what? I may be able to use this. Let's see. Nah, it's bad. Anyways, this is a bad chayote. You could see here, it's like brown. It's just not good anymore, so I'm just going to toss that. But you could use chayotes in there instead of potatoes because it's less starch. What's that?
Tell them what my name is.
This is Mia. Say hi.
Hi.
As if you guys didn't know that already because I've talked about her a bunch. But anyways, so yeah, while that's cooking, I'm basically just going to be cleaning up my station here. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You could eat the soup with tortillas. That's very Mexican thing. Caldos with tortillas, like roll up the tortillas, and it's so good. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. It's not that difficult. And I'll go ahead and wait a little bit longer. And I was hoping that I had a can of green beans, but I don't. Oh, bummer. Because I love green beans.
Mommy, tell them what you ate at my lunch thing today.
You can tell them. Go ahead.
I don't want to. You tell them.
No.
It's your video.
But you're in it.
But you do it.
anyways, so that's pretty much today's episode. Again, I'm just going to throw in the rest of the vegetables once the soup is like boiling. Once the soup is boiling, I mean that's pretty much it. I'm just going to throw in the rest of the stuff, and that'll be dinner. We could do a tortilla. Go ahead. No, go ahead. They're watching you. No, go ahead.
My mommy ate bread and green beans at my school today.
I did. They had a Thanksgiving feast at her school today, and it was like turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy and all this stuff. So I was like, oh man, the only thing I could really eat off that plate is like the green beans and possibly like bite off the bread a little bit, but probably not because it has milk in it. So I didn't buy a lunch. Oh well. But I went with her, which is what counts. All right, baby. Why don't you come over here and sit down and eat, okay?
Hi, Mommy.
All right. So the soup is now boiling. So this is what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm just going to throw in the rest of the celery that I've already chopped up. And if you're not going to make a vegetarian version of this, you can always put ground beef in it or whatever you're going to put in it.
Hi, Mommy, can I go to my room and play for a little bit? My thing is on.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Can I have some Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
No, your food is...
After?
Yes. Being a mother is a full-time job.
Hello.
Go.
I'm 6 years old.
Anyways, all right, so that was it, guys. Nothing really too complicated tonight. I got to keep it easy because I literally have to leave in 15 minutes. So I'm hoping that this is going to be done by then. You could always throw in a can of stewed tomatoes in there as well, and make it a meal. Again, the base of that broth serves for like all kinds of soups and dishes. So as long as you can remember the basics, onion, garlic, tomato, you're good. You'll make a broth and it'll be amazing for all different kinds of soups. So good luck, and I hope I've entertained you. And now you got to see my munchkin on camera too, so awesome. Have a good night.